We're building less houses. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we're going to have a look at some data from the ABS. This is to do with housing commencements. And I'll just bring it up here. There we go. Bear with me as I'm still coming to grips with my new computer setup for streaming. So grab your stein and well, I've been talking about the construction apocalypse for some time. It's, well, a growing playlist here on the channel. And I would argue the ongoing consequence of the overheating of the housing market, which has a lot of factors playing into it, but one which the media doesn't talk about much at all, is the fact that builders and businesses were allowed to trade while insolvent. Now, you're thinking, Florian, that was years ago. Yeah, sure it was. But that can lay the groundwork, combined with all of these other issues, labor, supply issues, weather issues, material costs skyrocketing, fixed price contracts, delay. And it can just snowball. And my biggest concern is that we have a housing crisis, we have a rental crisis, we have migration that's not going anywhere, so demand is going to continue. We're not going to have the capacity to meet that demand. So if we see here, building activity. So this was released yesterday on the 18th, or yesterday from when I'm recording. Total dwelling commencements fell 11.8% to 40,720. New private sector house commencements fell 6.6% to 25,162 dwellings. Now, if you're sitting there expecting housing to crash in Australia because it's so unfair, so expensive, it's bullshit, we're not meeting the supply. Supply is not meeting the demand already. And now our ability to address that growing demand is decreasing. This is what I've been worried about for some time, that we're going to lose capacity in the construction sector. I wonder how many builders are not making any money. It's a profitless boom for some of them. New private sector other than residential commencements fell by 19.6% to 14.5 thousand dwellings. The value of total building work done rose 0.3 to 31.5 billion. We can see here the new private sector houses in the June quarter, 25,000. Other residential, 14,000 total, 40,000 down. Oh boy, from 22 to 23, down 17.4%, 11.9, 15.4, down from March to June, down. Oh boy. I mean, see this here. This is something I've been talking about, guys. What's this? Okay, I know how to draw in bloody OneNote. Thank you very much, software. We've had a huge spike up in commencements. We had a dip down here. Here you go, 1920. So we even shot above the previous zone. So what we're seeing here is this here has to come from somewhere. Okay, this guy here comes from here. So we'll dip down and take the projects away. So I'll zoom out. So the overheating of the market, spurred on by government intervention and stimulus in the housing sector, has resulted in a decline in construction capacity and future projects brought forward. Now, demand hasn't been quenched, not by any measure. It's still there. We now have a rental crisis as well. We've got a housing crisis as well. Is it going to get any better? I think this will be a very topical issue. It should be at the next election, because it's a difficult problem to solve. Some people will argue reduce migration, reduce the number of people coming to Australia. It is a very large number of people here. Could it work? Others are arguing we need those people here to actually build the properties and houses that we need for Australians. I honestly think the lobbying groups are too strong to even address it. You've got private dwelling commenced, seasonally adjusted. I mean, there you go, guys. So if we get too much of a cooling, Wait for calls for stimulus, everyone. Wait for calls for stimulus for housing or other sectors. Total number of dwelling units commenced in Australia fell 11.8% to 40,000 in seasonally adjusted terms. Dwellings under construction, original, yes, it's still up there. Projects are getting delayed. Projects are getting delayed and getting dragged out. Dwellings under construction fell 1.4% to 237,779. New houses accounted for 101,000 of the dwellings under construction. If we have a look here, so we're still, 2015, that was the jump up. I wish they had longer data, but we're still above what our average band was for the last half a decade. And we had that dip there in 2019, and it's just shot. This is when people thought, now's the opportunity. Jump in, buy, build. And they overheated the sector. New dwellings completed. Everything's down, guys. Wow. So, there you go. Let's have a bit of a chat about this one. Wait. Oh, you're kidding. Hang on. Okay, no, let's do the outro. Thanks, guys. I'll figure it out eventually. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.